Welcome to Allie's Attic, where you never know what kind of surprise you'll find in my attic. I'm your host, Allie, and today my surprise is a singer-songwriter from Nashville, Tennessee, Ducky Medlock. Hi, Ducky.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
We're doing great. We're just rolling around, making a little music.
Well, there you go. Now, I'm a fan. I'm going to start that right off. I know you're married.
That's awesome.
I think your wife is one of the luckiest women around. You're probably one of the luckiest men around because I'm sure she's amazing.
I think I am. I think I got to be.
There you go. You have three things that make you, I don't want to say lethal, but powerful. I'll say powerful. You have that bad boy look. You have a growl in your voice, and you're a country boy. So you have three things going for you right off the bat. So what I want you to do,
Thank you.
You're welcome, is tell me about you. Tell me about when you first started getting interested in music to right up to today.
Well, I think I first got into music, probably like everybody else did, playing a broom on a coffee table, watching MTV and music videos. My parents were big Elvis and country fans, so that's really where I got my start on. And I think what really got me into music, the song that really got me into it, was my brother had a 45 of David Lee Roth, Crazy from the Heat or something like that. But it was a song Just a Gigolo. And I learned that song from beginning to end. I know all the horn parts. I know everything about it. So that was kind of my start right there into to really wanting to be a musician. I wanted to be a rock star, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But from there, I listened to so many different types of music, and I still do today. I mean, I've listened to, I may listen to Marvin Gaye for a little while, and then switch it over to Black Sabbath. I mean, it's very, I really like the traditional country music.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, nowadays it's more pop country, and I like that too. I mean, that's pretty good stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
I like the old George Jones and stuff like Ray Price, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Now, I have a band called Medlock, and we do everything under the sun. We do, rap, rock, country, R&B. We mix originals in it. And that's kind of like my release there. That's my just straight fun time. We don't even think about it. We just go out and do it. Well, that's awesome. Now, a lot of fans have been waiting for your solo effort, and your solo effort's called Lamppost. And
right,
like I said, I'm a fan, and fans have quickly fallen in love with the 6-song EP, and it's generated quite a buzz from the musician affiliated with Bucky Covington from American Idol. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, my best friend went on American Idol, and we'd always him and his brother, who plays in Medlock also, we always kind of played around town. We all had our own different bands, so we didn't get to play in a band that much together, but we always had like little jams everywhere and open mic nights and stuff like that. And that's kind of where we played together all the time. And when he got on American Idol, he asked me to join his band and moved to Nashville, so I did immediately, of course. And it was kind of a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, we moved up here, and 2 weeks later, we were on a national radio tour, and it didn't stop after that. It was pretty much, when we first came to Nashville, Luke Bryan and Lady Annabelle were opening for us, so it was a kind of a wild ride.
Yeah, I would imagine. Now, I take it you're a wrestling fan.
Well, my kids are, and it's weird. I'm kind of in the wrestling family circle, I guess. I've been accepted in that, I guess you could say. And, you know, I was a wrestling fan when I was a kid. And, you know, my kids started watching, and I kind of, you know, sit there and watch it with them and everything. And I didn't really get into it that much until I actually got into actually working with the wrestlers and seeing what kind of, you know, how cool their relationship with their fans and everything is. I mean, it's really awesome thing. It's like, the fans are just like even the guys that they hate, they love.
Mm-hmm.
kind of a different way. You know, a lot of times, like in the music world, if you don't like an artist, you just don't like them.
Yeah.
But in the wrestling world, it's like, even if that guy beats the guy that you like, you're like, oh, I still like him too. You know?
Yeah, I watch wrestling, so not that many people know that, but I do. Now, TNA wrestler Jeff Hardy's rock band and your band, Medlock, are known for their unique renditions of popular songs. Now, they're both different bands, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Now, Jeff has, I mean, you should really check out Jeff Hardy's music. He has some really awesome music. When I first got into it, my friend, and he's got also produced my CD, Dale Oliver, he said, hey, man, I want you to play bass and sing backup on this buddy of mine's CD or tour. And I didn't know it was Jeff Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I knew who Jeff Hardy was, but I didn't know that's who he was talking about. So he sent the music over to me, and I seen Jeff Hardy. I was like, oh, that's Jeff Hardy. Wow, that's cool. And then I listened to it, and I was really blown away because it's really, really, I mean, it's some of the best rock music I've heard in a long time.
No, really?
I mean, they just don't really have rock music on the radio that, you know, that compares to that, you know, in that style that he does. He has his own style. It's really, really, really good.
Well, I'm going to have to check him out. Definitely. Now,
But, Jeff Hardy's band, we just do Jeff Hardy's music. Medlock is kind of like my cover band that we also do originals and stuff.
Okay. Now, from your work with the USO and Stars and Stripes for the troops in Germany, Mexico, Kosovo, South Korea, the Netherlands, and Macedonia, to your appearances at the Country Gold Festival in Japan, you've been on Jimmy Kimmel Live, Fox and Friends, the one that I love the most, the Grand Ole Opry, as well as many other national performances. Now, what was it like to be, first off, like, thank you for honoring the troops that are fighting for your country, and we have some fighting for my country. What was that like going and touring for them?
It was an awesome experience, and it was an honor. And you know, they treat you like you're doing something for them, but you feel like that you're just trying to give back a little something to what these guys are. You know, they're on a base, far from home, haven't seen their family in a year, sometimes 2 years, sometimes more than that. I mean, to give that up just to serve your country, I mean, that's a big thing. You know, not to mention, going and fighting in the wars and the battles and all that. That's on a whole different level, I imagine. But just to be away from your family, I have a family and I have to be away from them a lot, and I can understand. But when I'm away from them, I'm not away from them for a year or a year and a half or anything like that. So
yeah,
it was a really big honor.
Well, that's
really
awesome.
Blessed to be able to do that.
Yeah. Now, Jimmy Kimmel Live. What were your nerves like going on his show?
What's that?
Jimmy Kimmel Live. Were you nervous going on his show?
Extremely. I was nervous up until when I met Jimmy Kimmel himself, and he's so down to earth. He just kind of puts you on that kind of vibe. Like, oh yeah, we're just sitting here playing at his house. That kind of thing. So,
oh well, that's cool. I'd probably.
It was really cool to load out my equipment on Hollywood Boulevard and all that stuff. That was pretty neat too. I mean, I'm a musician that I've always had the PA in the trailer and let's ride 4 hours and do a show. A little bit different when you take your equipment out on Hollywood Boulevard and you're like, wow, okay, there's some stars on the ground there. Pretty neat stuff.
That would have been cool. Now, one stage that I think everybody who is talented and privileged enough to grace is the Grand Ole Opry. So that must have been a highlight in your career.
It really was. And, you know, my dad used to always tell me when I was playing, you know, in bands and stuff, he used to always say, well, boy, you ain't made it until you played on the Opry.
Mm-hmm.
And, so of course, you know, when I did, he wasn't able to make it. He was sick that day. That week he was going through, illness at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, when he got better, he came back and we actually went up there to see it and all that stuff and everything. But, I had to call and tell him. I said, well, I guess I made it, you know. I actually played on it, 3 times, and one time we actually played at the original place where they had the Opry, because the Opry was actually underwater for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And, so they took us to the original place where they did all the, radio shows from the original spot where they had the Opry.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that would have been really cool. Now, I've watched you on YouTube. Obviously, I've never seen you live. Your stage presence is, yeah. I'll find some money somehow, fly down to Nashville and come and watch you. Although it is on my bucket list to get to Nashville, so hopefully one day. But when hopefully you're coming to Canada and I get a chance to come and see you, because that would be awesome. Now, your stage presence is awesome. Like, you have a hook. I can't even explain what you're growling, your voice, and just the way the confidence you have on that stage, it just pulls you right in. And then the songs that you sing are just amazing. Like, I am such a fan. Is that just,
awesome.
Is that just from doing it so often, or is that just you?
You know, I would hope that I've gotten better at it since I started, because I don't think I was really all that good when I started, but, you know, I don't know. It's something I enjoy doing. That's the part that I love the most. Like, some people enjoy, recording in the studio or sitting in a writer's room writing a song, or just playing on the back porch to people. I love being on the stage with, you know, the PA turned up, and, you know, that's just the thing that I love the most. It's like, you know, if I go 2 weeks without playing somewhere, my wife is like, you really need to just book a show somewhere, because it gets kind of annoying. I'm like,
that's funny.
It's like, stop running around here with a microphone stand in your hand. What are you doing? You know? But it's just the thing that I enjoy the most. I mean, it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like my therapy, you know.
Well, that's cool. Well, you're very good at it. Now,
thank you so much.
Do you have a twin, or is it Bucky?
I do not. Now,
it was Bucky.
Twin,
okay.
Rocky plays drums in Medlock, and he sings. And we kind of sing. He sings. He'll sing a song, I'll sing a song. He'll sing a song, I'll sing a song. That kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we kind of switch it up a little bit, not to wear everybody out on the same thing.
Yeah, and then at least that way everybody gets an opportunity, right? So that's kind of cool. Now, your independent album, Lamppost, has reached #1 on local Reverb Nation charts, earned recognition on several social media sites, and continues to gain popularity as it spreads throughout independent radio stations. So you are getting airplay from independent radio stations, right?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I think we've been #1 6 times on Music Mafia Radio. I think it's called Cordon Music overseas playing. We've got about 8 or 10 stations that are playing it now.
Awesome.
In a regular rotation.
I'm finding the more new stars that I talk to that are independent are saying that they would rather stay independent than sign with a label, and have actually gotten advice from people that are high up in the business telling them not to sign and to stay independent because of the freedom that it gives you. I know signing with a label, you have to, you know, have so many songs out and so long, and you have to go where they tell you to. And not that there's anything wrong with that, because, you know, once you get signed, you're making good money. I know it's harder for independent bands, but I'm finding more and more of them are staying independent. And like Chance the Rapper showed us at the Grammys, you don't have to be signed to win a Grammy. You can, you know, just make sure that you're on your social media and you're on Reverb Nation and you're pushing yourself, and you are doing really well.
Right.
Now you're,
and you're putting out good music and all that. But you know, there are labels out there that treat their artists very well.
Oh yeah.
And if they're doing that, then yeah, it'd be great to be on a label.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, you sign that contract and your album gets shelved, and you pretty much, you know, until they find something they could do with you, then they don't do anything. I actually, a band I was in, we signed a contract with a label who, they had some financial trouble after they signed our contract, and they just shelved us. You know, they're like, well, we can't put any money into that right now. So, I mean, that happens.
Yeah.
You know, if you're willing to work hard and you're putting out good music, you know, you don't really have to depend on, you know, a big label, which is basically a finance company, to do that for you if you've already got a plan.
Exactly. And you are right. Like, there are great labels out there, and I have nothing against, like, I'm not a singer, so independent or signed to me doesn't make a difference. I'm just finding that more and more are saying that independent is the way to go, and I was just really kind of shocked, because I thought, you know, growing up listening to music and being a radio announcer for 18 years, everybody wanted to get a label. Right. So it was just kind of a shock to me. Now,
you know, a lot of that, the internet changed.
You know what? Yeah, social media and Reverb Nation and iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud, they totally have changed the game, which is why I do what I do now. Because in radio, I am so in a box. I can't put on independent artists unless they're signed, you know? And so I decided to do this because I can bring on whoever I want. So it's kind of like the label independent thing, right? So yeah.
Right. The program director's not telling you, no, you have to play this list of songs.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's funny because a lot of people think that, you know, they phone in and ask for a song that you should just be able to throw it on. And they don't realize that there's a music director that makes up that music list, and you cannot vary from it ever. Which is very, very frustrating. So I'm really glad that I'm doing this.
Which if you were the musical director, you'd probably be like, you see where that kind of makes sense in that world, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have to do what they have to do. I mean, with the licensing out there for music, and depending on what type of radio station you are, what format you are, there's certain types of music that you have to play. And so, I mean, they're doing their job. And there's a reason that there is a music playlist, so you have to stick to it. But I just love doing this because I have way more freedom. Because it's my own show. Now, your most recent project has been creating a theme song for TNA wrestler James Storms. And you're also currently staged to release your new album just in time for your spring tour. Now, this theme song for TNA wrestler James Storms, is that when he comes out, they play it?
That's it. That's his song that he comes out to. It's called When the Smoke Clears. It was me and Big Benny from the Trailer Choir. And James Storm actually wrote it, and that was a side of the wrestling world I had not seen, is how talented some of these guys are. I mean, Jeff Hardy, I mean, that was the first taste of when I heard Jeff Hardy, I was like, this guy does all this? And then I went in to record the vocals on the When the Smoke Clears, and James Storm was there in the room with us when I was recording it, which was really intimidating. He's a big guy. But he was rewriting the lyrics on the fly. You know, he was like, "Oh, I like the way you did that. Hey, let's change the lyrics." And I was like, "Oh, he wrote all this stuff. He's a pretty talented guy." Wow. So it's kind of refreshing to see that. You know,
yeah,
guys, they get in there and beat each other up a little bit, but they also have some talents on the other side, on the other side, the artistic side. So that's great.
Well, that is good because, you know, if one career ends, at least you have another one.
Yeah.
Now, if you had any advice to give new artists out there that are just starting out, what would your advice be, Ducky?
I would say, you know, be true to who you are. But play to the crowd. You know, when you every time you play, make sure that you're thinking about who you're playing to, and make sure they're satisfied. Because in the end, that's who we got into playing music for, was the audience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people say, "I just play for myself." It's like, you play to the audience. Your audience matters.
Yeah, they're your fans.
Sometimes you got to change up the songs. Change up a song, you know, put a different song in because your audience is different. You want them to have a good time. That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
If they're having a good time, you're going to have a good time.
Yeah. And then they're going to want you to come back. I mean, that's how you gain your fans.
Right.
So, that's really good advice. Now, if somebody wanted to purchase your music, which I know is probably on any downloadable music thing that's out there right now, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, you're on all of those, correct?
Yes, I'm on every single one of them. We did that right off the bat. I put out a CD a long time ago. We didn't do that, and that was a big no-no. I found out later.
Well, you learned.
I didn't realize how important social media and all that stuff was. You know.
Yeah.
You know, internet tells us where it's at.
Well, and you know, the funny thing is, I didn't know a lot about it either, and it's been my grandkids that are teaching me all about it, which is funny. I'm a young grandma, though, just so everybody knows. Now, you have a website?
I do. It's duckymedlock.com.
Okay, it'll be up on my website.
And
go ahead.
I have a Facebook page as well. It's Ducky Medlock Music on Facebook.
Okay. I'll put your website.
And you know, you get me on Reverb Nation.
Yeah, all of that. As soon as you go to your Twitter account, it shows all of the places that you can be found. But I will definitely be putting up your website on my website. Now, I got to pick the 2 songs that you sent me because you sent me a few. What songs are we going to hear from you?
I think we're going to hear Lamppost.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite songs. It's really dear to me. It's a very personal story.
Is it about you and your wife?
It is. It's about people in our family.
Oh, okay.
That, you know, my wife's mom and some other friends of mine, you know, so when I wrote the song, I had them in mind, and it's, you know, it's close to my heart.
Yeah, well, that's good. And what is the other song? Do you remember which one I picked?
I think it's Wise Man.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to tell you why. I've listened to all of your music. I've watched you on YouTube. Wise Man, as soon as you start singing, because it's just kind of basically your voice. It is sexy as hell, and it just pulls you in, and it's just a great song. I absolutely love it. It's on my playlist. I play it all the time, and I'm just blown away by your talent, and I think you're going to go so far. And I hope that when you do win your Grammy, or, you know, you do get signed or anything like that, I hope you'll come back and talk to us, because, I mean, I'm not huge. I'm a small little, you know, Canadian person. But being able to have people of your caliber of talent on my show is very humbling. So, yeah, anytime anything big happens in your life, I hope you'll come back and talk to us.
I'd love to. That'd be awesome.
And I'm going to push for everybody to get you to come to Canada, because I want you to come to Winnipeg so I can come watch you in concert, and so I can meet your wife. How many kids do you have, by the way?
She's fun. She's a cool chick.
Well, and I was talking to, I think, her best friend on Facebook today, making sure that, you know, you had everything that you needed and I had everything that I needed.
Right.
It was really funny because, you know, she was helping get everything set up. And yeah, I wanted to also touch on...
You must be talking about Suzanne.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, which was really cool.
She keeps me straight.
Well, and one thing I want to talk about before I let you go. Now, what do you do for a living besides sing?
I'm a contractor.
Yeah.
I do commercial kitchens.
Okay. Now, the reason I wanted to bring that up is people think, oh, well, you're a musician. You know, you sit around playing all the time and, you know, going to bars and they don't realize musicians are the hardest working people out there because not only do you have to have a regular job to support you and your family, you also are going out when it should be your time off and performing to get your band out there and your name out there to get somewhere. And it just blows me away how hard you guys work. And I'm just in awe of you guys. So yeah, I wanted to touch on that.
I really appreciate that. A lot of people don't see that side of it. They don't realize that, you know, that you're taking sometimes you're taking $10,000 worth of equipment 500 miles down the road to play for $500.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
it's just never, you know, it's kind of hard to see that side of it.
Yeah.
But I've been very blessed, so I think.
Well, that's good. But yeah, I wanted to touch on that because I know there are people out there that do think like that, and I know just from talking to everybody, they do have regular jobs. It's not just all about the music. Now, well, it is all about the music, but you know what I mean. You have to support your family.
Right.
So, I want to say thank you so much for coming on my show. If I ever do get to Nashville, you'll be getting a tweet from me because I'd love to meet you and your wife. And
that would be awesome.
Yeah, and if you ever come to Winnipeg, I'm definitely going to be there. So, yeah, thank you for taking time out of your workday to come on my show and talk about your music and everything else. And I wish you all the best. And hopefully we'll be talking to you soon when you make it really big, because you're gonna.
Well, thank you so much. And it's people like you that keep it going.
Awesome. And thank you for joining me on Allie's Attic. Keep checking my website because you never know what kind of surprises you'll find in my attic. Cheers.